As with any product purchase, investments are a way to support a company while receiving a potential benefit, the return on investment. Sustainably responsible investing, or SRI, requires a closer look at a company, not just for what it produces and the profit that it can create, but on how the company interacts with the world around it. Does the company derive benefit from its negative use of the world, or create a positive environmental impact? Research has shown that nearly 11% of investments are derived from SRI procedures, and the number seems to be increasing. SRI can be broken down into 3 strategies: screening, shareholder advocacy, and community investing. Screening, or the selection process, involves determining criteria from which to judge the various firms one might invest in. Rather than use the exclusionary tactic of not including CSR negative companies in their portfolio, investors tend to choose firms that have a proven positive impact on the world. This idea has also trended in the buying habits of consumers. Research shows 64% of global consumers only pay attention to above average CSR initiatives, in other words, those that outshine the rest. There is no economical equation, like that of profit, used to determine the best SRI. The determination lies outside of the typical framework of profit-bearing attractiveness that is usually used in investment theory. It is, however, based on those CSR initiatives that compel the investor. Exclusionary SRI is relatively easy. What types of products should we not include? Most often, these products are in the areas of tobacco, alcohol, weapons, and gambling. Inclusionary SRI is more difficult, but can be done using a rating system. Points are awarded to corporations based on their CSR initiatives. The more difficult or impactful, the higher the points. Think of it in the terms of a gymnastics score. To determine the final score, judges look at the difficulty level of each element, for example, a back walkover as opposed to a handstand. Does the gymnast connect 2 difficult elements together, or always 2 easy ones? Did the gymnast do all of the required elements? And how well were they done? This means deducting points for falls, bent knees, and flexed toes. Add the difficulty scores to the execution score and voila, you have a final score. Similarly, the investor determines which behaviors or elements to focus on and assign a level of importance or difficulty to each one. They must then rate the performance of each corporation based on these behaviors. Measures used can include environmental behavior, such as the impact of the product on the environment, the physical production process of the product, and any proactive corporate activity such as recycling or efficient fuel management. Social behavior may also be measured, but can vary based on the views of the investor. There are groups that can help in researching investment opportunities using indexes already created and maintained for your benefit. Shareholder advocacy is a determination as to whether the voice of those investing is being heard. For example, Sustainvest Management sent a proposal to Apple requesting public disclosure of how the company deals with climate control in its retail locations. This concerns Apple's open door policy in retail stores during hot days while the air conditioning is running. The proposal was ignored as Apple already has an internal document for employees to use, and they have, according to the SEC, substantially implemented it. Exxon, on the other hand, due to pressure from over 60% of its shareholders, agreed to the disclosure of the impact of climate change and its regulations on their business. The community investing strategy involves investing in that which is typically not on our radar, communities. By investing in underserved communities, investors provide access to basic banking products, making individual and small business dreams a reality. In other words, instead of investing in companies, investing in people. Why is socially responsible investing attractive? Well, SRI is a growing trend. Research has shown that between 1995 and 2010, SRI has increased 380%. This growth is astounding when you consider that the entire scope of investing only grew about 260%, according to Thomas Reuters Nelson. Citing a case study conducted by Bank of America, Hogue in 2017 showed that investors who looked for high ESG scores or environmental and social governance avoided 90% of the corporate bankruptcies between 2008 and 2016. By comparison, the companies who ranked in the bottom third of the ESG rankings were outperformed by those in the top third. Not only do investments in companies with high rating help avoid losses, but also helps ensure gains. In making an investment decision, one could use the definition of sustainability given by the World Commission on Environment and Development in 1987. Sustainable development is development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. In other words, adding to one's investment portfolio is adding to one's own future. An investor would want any investment today to be able to meet their future needs. Therefore, to invest wisely, one might take into consideration the following ESG criteria. Labor. Is the company ranked as one of the best places to work? Companies in this listing tend to have lower turnover rates and, subsequently, less legal action against them for discriminatory practices or other unfair labor policies. Legal action can lead to a loss in profits and in your investment. Environment. Does the company produce a product that can negatively affect the environment with its use, creation, or disposal? If so, invest